buttery. I said buttery bokeh portrait mode for video, higher quality ProRes formats, new context-aware filters, and that's in addition to better 5G, smaller notches, adaptive 120Hz refresh rates, next generation A15 silicon, and all the other leaks already swirling around the iPhone 13 or iPhone 12s, iPhone Mother of Dragons, iPhone The Dark Knight Notches, or whatever Apple decides to call the next set of iPhones coming our way in, holy wow, just a few weeks now. 2020 felt like it took forever, and now 2020 Junior is going by in the blink of an eye. But sometime in the next 4 to 6 weeks, Tim Cook is gonna take over our streams and our screens and good morning yoke fresh new iPhones into our brainstems. And according to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, those fresh new iPhones will include at least three fresh new videography features. First up, portrait mode video, or what he says Apple is internally calling cinematic video, a term Apple's previously applied to stabilization, keeping video looking smooth and steady. But now it'll be just to make all the backgrounds all the blurry. And it won't be the first time that a company has done blurry background video. Samsung tried it a few years ago with kind of mixed results. And I'm sure some of you are already just furiously typing away to tell me Nokia actually invented it back in 1812. And good for them, because depth of field bokeh is just one of those traditional camera things that big old lenses have always done, and tiny camera phone lenses could just never, not ever compete with, not on the physics at least. But instead of big sensor or big glass, Apple's once again turning to big compute, throwing just their silicon at it. And that was originally using dual camera systems to derive some semblance of depth data from the small differences between the two cameras. And then segmentation masking, which just means using machine learning to try to separate the subject from the background and then blur the background. And of course, Apple insisted on doing that in real time in the viewfinder with zero shutter lag. So what you saw was what you shot. And this was so computationally expensive at the time, it would redline an iPhone 7. But as Apple improved their silicon, they were able to add lens models to produce more realistic bokeh, dynamic aperture, so you could adjust the amount of bokeh even after you took the shot. And now, thanks to LiDAR on the iPhone 12 Pro, which collects just so much more better depth data, even night mode in portrait mode. But they still didn't have the raw processing power they needed to apply depth effects to 4K 30, much less 4K 60 frames per second of video. Not even a 1080p sounds like. Not well enough to ship it until now. Which is why some of us still use big old traditional cameras for our A-roll, which is just the talking head stuff, and B-roll, which is the glamour shots of people and products and more. Because as much as the iPhone is already used in specialty productions, if Apple can really nail computational lens effects in video, or even just start nailing it, it'll be one less reason to lug the big camera kits around, at least for more stuff, because we'd still need it for the big zooms. ProRes is the name for a family of high-quality video codecs that Apple uses in Final Cut Pro, and some cinema cameras like Arri and Blackmagic, and accessories like Atomos and sound devices record to directly. They currently vary in resolution up to 8K, and in quality from various levels of lossy compression all the way up to ProRes RAW. So ProRes is legit gorgeous, and it's a dream to edit with, but it's also so hella thirsty. Like, take up all of your drive space and ask for more hella thirsty. And that means it'll be super interesting, really an open question as to what exactly and how exactly Apple implements it on an iPhone. Now, Mark says it will be in HD, so 1080p and 4K. But in my perfect world, it's a very highly optimized version of at least ProRes 422 with a 1 terabyte storage option to hold a lot of it, and Thunderbolt 4 to pull it all off with, so I don't have to use Lightning or, God forbid, ad hoc Wi-Fi like an animal. But of course, I don't every time, even anytime, get the perfect world I want. The part about photo filters may have some pro-level pros just salivating at the thought of LUTs, or lookup tables, which are used to transform the flatter, high dynamic range log or raw video files into everything from standard color profiles to other cinema camera styles to vintage or classic film looks, or just otherwise transform them exactly and precisely to your specific tastes. But what it sounds like is more of an evolution of the current photo filters, now for video, but with all the more advanced machine-learned computer vision tech like scene understanding, so it can tell what's a sky, what's a cloud, what's a tree, what's a face, what's an object, and then semantic rendering, so it can apply the filter not uniformly, but contextually to each element in the best way possible to get the most out of it possible. And Mark says there'll be the classics like cool down and warm up, for example, or more dramatic shadows and contrasts, all while preserving proper white balance. And I'd love that. I would straight up love that. But I would also straight up love log and real-time LUTs, because I have room in my heart for all of it. Just give me all of it. That way I won't even have to reach for my Canon R5. I'll just reach for my iPhone 13. Even and especially for tasty, epic cinematic cooking B-roll, like for today's sponsor, Made-In. Yes, I said cooking B-roll, because when I need to cook eggs, I need pans that distribute heat evenly from stove to oven. When I fuss over a grilled cheese, I need edges browned and crunchy, not burned on one side. And when I smash a burger, I need to get that crispy lattice on the outside, but full-on caramelization on both sides. And Made-In delivers, because they've worked with renowned chefs on premium kitchen tools, and they've made them available directly to you without the markup and with a lifetime guarantee. And right now, because you're watching this video, Made-In is offering you 15% off your first order with promo code Renee. This is the best discount available anywhere online for Made-In products. Just go to madeincookware.com/Renee, R-E-N-E, and use promo code Renee for 15% off your first order. That's madeincookware.com/Renee, promo code Renee. And clicking on that link really helps out this channel. As does hitting on the playlist above for even more on the iPhone 13, all the leaks, all the breakdowns, everything you need to decide if you should start saving or just skipping. Hit it up, and I'll see you in the next video.